Hello students, welcome to my channel. This is the second lecture of Matlab course. This course is designed primarily for the ones who want to learn from the very beginning and quickly follow only the important steps. This course will help the programmers to understand the basic commands and functions and then implement it by writing lengthy codes. Our motto is learning by doing. So the best way to learn is to open the Matlab along the video and try every command and step as I teach you, and try it by yourself to understand the flow of commands and remove errors. We will start from examples of simple numerical expressions and mathematical formulas. I am giving a quick overview of the basic commands and then we'll jump into the discussion with one of my students. As we discussed in previous lecture, the major tools in the desktop are the command window, workspace, files, where the commands will be saved. And if we click here, find files, we can find our files if we have any Matlab files in the list. Or here is the command history. All the commands that we entered before will be appear here until we clear all the command history. So we can even open other tabs as well from here. Let's get started. Quick overview of the commands. There are two important things, input and output. Input commands in Matlab can be inserted in the command window here, and Matlab returns output in two ways, either in text form or in numerical value. But graphical output appears in a separate graphical window or figure. Matlab can easily solve numerical expressions, so it behaves like a calculator. For example, starting from the very basic, like I can add two values simply. The answer is 10. Simply we can multiply, subtract, and we can even find the power of 3. You can see is 3 raised to the power of 2 is 9. As in mathematics, we learned that we cannot divide anything by 0, so its answer is infinite. We can even add or multiply decimal values to get decimal answer. Like for example 3.147, its answer is decimal. In Matlab commands, we can use person symbol to indicate a comment line. For example, y is equal to 9. I place a semicolon and then percent assign value. So it's a comment line. So it will not be executed in this line. In this way, we can use different type of operators like plus, minus, multiply, divide. We can even use like dot, static. It can be used for array multiplication. Simply we can use dot power, array exponential operator. We will use it in our programs. We can use backslash, right division operator, left division operator. So these are the different operators. And we can even use array left division operator, right division operator. We can use parentheses in functions or in arrays. Similarly, we can use the brackets to enclose array elements, like for example 1, 2, 3, 4. Another important operator is 3 dots, known as ellipses. These can be used for line continuation operator. For example, if we have a long statement, then we can use these 3 lines. For example, 1 minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 4 minus 2 by 7 minus 1 by 9. So we can use 3 dots and then we start from another line. So here if I click here, then it will move to another line and I can continue writing the statement. For example, plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 7 minus 2 by 8. So I'm going to leave the statement here, correct, and it's the answer. We can even use it in arrays. For example, here are two values 1.23. Here I enter ellipse and then write another value 4.56. Then enter. So it gives me the two element in the array. It seems like I'm writing like in this way 1.23 and 4.56. It will give me the same answer. As noted in the previous example, Matlab create variables with an assignment operator. S is the variable name and this is the expression or a value. The expression can be a combination of numerical values, mathematical operators, variables, and different function calls. You may observe that a variable can be reassigned or re-overwrite, but only the new value will be stored in the variable. To understand the error messages, let's write another example. X is equal to 10. I give another variable name. Let's suppose y is equal to 5x. So x is the variable name and 5 is the constant value. Let's try what will be happen. Give me an error. Why? Because there should be a multiplication operator between the variable and the constant value. So the correct form, Matlab automatically give me the correct form. So I'm writing it again and it give me the answer. In Matlab operations, the parentheses are very important. For example, I am writing a statement 2, 3. So it will give me the correct answer. If I'm removing the 3, then it will give me an error. So it gives me the correct statement. This answer is 9. Let's try another example. Same example, but in a different way. Right? A variable name. Here is also giving me an error. So the correct form is this. Try to practice on these basic operations and you can learn the flow in each line of the lengthy codes. Matlab is case sensitive. For example, if we look at the workspace, there is no capital X. If I write a capital X and click enter, this variable name is not recognized. There is another X, small x in the list. Do you mean a small x? Then I will say yes, and it will give me the value of small x. Some of the functions are built in Matlab. For example, I write sqrt, square root of x, or may I call it capital X. It will give me the square root of this value, the small x. Similarly, I can write mean of small x. It will give me the average value. So actually, it only has a single value, so it will give me the same value. Let's try this example for S. So it gives me the mean value of these two values, 1.23 and 4.56. There is a symbolic math toolbox in Matlab through which we can carry out algebraic or symbolic calculations. To perform symbolic computation, we can use sims to declare the variables. For example, I'm using sims x and y. First, I want to clear all variables and then write sims x, y. Now I can perform any algebraic expression on these two variables. For example, write x minus y multiply x minus y power 2. It solves me the algebraic expression. I can even expand it, like for example, expand answer. So x minus 3 into x power 2 into y it expanded the algebraic expression in this form: x cubed 3x squared y 3xy squared minus y cubed. Let's clear all the variables from the word space. Answer seems xy. Sorry. As I told before, some of the functions are built in Matlab. For example, I write add 3 and 9. Sorry, sum is the correct function. We can use the trigonometric functions in Matlab. Like, for example, 90 will give me the answer. It gives me the answer in radian. If you want answer in degrees, then write sine d 90. Or if you want in inverse form, a sine, or either d or without d, will give me the inverse of the sine wave. For hyperbolic, we can write sine h. Some of other built-in functions in Matlab are absolute, exponential, log, mod for reminder, title, legend, text, grid, and so on. Linspace is a very important function in Matlab to generate a row vector of linearly spaced points between two specified endpoints. Linspace, I'm writing one variable and the second variable. So it gives me 100 linear spaced values. I can even write it as linspace 2, 10, and the space between these 2 points, the 2 and 10, is 2. So it will give me these 2 values only. I write this comment is give me 5 linearly spaced points between 2 and 5. To create a matrix in Matlab, for example, I write like 1, 2, 3, semicolon 4, 5, 6, semicolon 7, 8, 9, 3 cross 3 matrix. To create a matrix of zeros, write, for example, 2, 3. 2 cross 3 means 2 rows and 3 columns. Similarly, we can write ones to generate a matrix of ones and write a diagonal of n. So 159 is the diagonal of this M matrix. It will create the diagonal elements of the matrix. To generate a figure, write figure, click enter to generate a graphical figure of anything that we want in this window. And to know the version of the Matlab that we are using, just write ver, and it will give me not only the version but also the detail of the toolboxes that are already installed in this software. To work in the Simulink models, just click the Simulink, and here we can create our own models, or we can even access the examples in Matlab, and we can learn about the different blocks. Let's move in more depth about these commands. I'm hopeful that you guys will be practicing on Matlab commands, and if you face any issues in your commands, then don't forget to ask in the comments box. And if you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel. And let's start our today's discussion. It's the second lecture, and let's see some of the values in mathematics. What does it mean? Do you know?
This one row.
Yeah,
and four columns.
it's one row. Exactly, it's one row. If I click OK, it will generate a row. Similarly, I'm using the same row but using commas. In both the cases, output will be same. It will not affect the output. comma is not affecting the output. If it will generate the same result. But if we use the semicolon here in the values, it will change the row to column. X transpose, I'm saving it in Y. So X is also a variable and Y is also a variable. But I am changing the X row to column or column to row and save it in Y. So what will be my output? It will generate the same column in row. I mean, it's the transpose. We know the transpose in mathematics. We have learned the transpose of a row or a column. Yeah. So in most of the codes, you will find out that in some of the cases we have used this thing, comma above. Yeah, we have used it in codes.
Do you use it for what? For what?
To transpose the row into column. Yeah, I want to share it. Okay, screen here. You can find it. Yeah, here. It's a row is changed to column. So in some of the cases we use these things. Like here, I have used most of the codes. We are using these because we sometimes we multiply two matrices and there is a different order, so they cannot be multiplied or cannot be added. So we have to make the same order related to the mathematics, as we have know about the, like if you multiply two matrices, then the order will be like if 2 cross 1, then the second matrix should be 1 cross something value. Mean the first matrix columns and the second matrix rows should be the same. Then the two matrices can be multiplied, otherwise they cannot be multiplied. Okay, do you remember we have used this thing whose?
Yes, I saw. Yeah, I saw this is the order. Yes.
Yeah, it's giving the different variables, list of active variables and their information of active variables. Okay, next thing is I'm using the colon here. So there is a difference between colon and semicolon. So what is semicolon doing here? In codes, we have used the semicolons. I have used it here in codes. If you know about it, then you can understand what does it mean. If you know the basic things, then it's not a difficult task. You can read the code and you can find the steps what each line is doing actually in code. So
I know the order. I know this the order, but I'm asking when I can use it and why I can use it. Why I want to use it? For example, sometimes I need this the order, but I don't know I need it or not.
You can learn it by practice, by copying different codes, running their codes, different steps. You can run each and every step. Start from a very small codes, from 3 or 4 lines. Yeah, read those codes, what each line is doing, what is its output, and then try to read 10 to 15 line codes. Yeah, copy it in Matlab command window, run it, and you will find what is its output, what will be their values, what will be their size, what will be their variable names. Then you will learn programming. If you are good in C language, have you used C language, C or C++?
I took it, but really it was so difficult.
It's not difficult, but if you practice on it, you will learn it. But anyhow, a student level course, it's not using above. In master level, it is not using C language. So you have to focus on Matlab and try to copy small sections of codes from internet or from the help menu. From the help menu, you can find different examples. See, there are hundreds of examples in Matlab.
And so in C++ or in Matlab?
No, Matlab.
About what exactly?
About everything related to Matlab. There are hundreds of examples in Matlab. You will find many different techniques. It's the help file. There are different examples here in Matlab. This is the different control system toolbox. Anything you want, you can take help from this deep learning. Yeah, actually, these are the basic examples. If you know the basic examples, then you can implement those procedures in your codes. You can copy, you can open an example, and finally you will find different examples. Like it's Simulink related Simulink models. These are the different Simulink models. You can find different matrices, array indexing. What is array indexing? It's very handy. You can find these examples here. These are small examples, but you can take much help from these. There are different pages, array indexing. Yeah, it's a very important thing. These are very important help files.
And did you find some examples ready, or some examples or like this?
I told you they are the basic examples. You have to upgrade those examples. You have to update those examples for your work. The basic procedure is same in few lines, like you have to add something more. I was telling you about this, why I use colon in my code. In ANN, I have used it. So what does it mean? It's actually starting from 0. It's the first index value, 0. It will start from 0, and the end value will be equal to 8, and it will increment 1 value. By default, it will increment 1 value. Like it's like in C language, we have used C plus 1. We are using in loop. It is starting the value from 0 and incrementing 1 value every time and get the final output. So starting from 0 up to 8, it is defining our array. So if we have our data set, for example, you in your data set, the values are more than, I think, 900,000 or 90,000. I don't remember, but I think 90,000 or something, about 70,000. So I will take the first index, first element of my data set, and the last value of data set, and increment every time one value. So it will print all my data set column or all my data set rows. Yeah, it's a very important thing, because we are using most of the time in data sets, we are using these things. In data set, I cannot print all the values in my list. Like in U, for example, I cannot write all the 70,000 elements. So I have to use the first value, the data set first value and the last value, and put a colon in between to increment one value. And for example, in I have a data set and I am using except one value. For example, I try to increment the value 2 times, not 1 time. Like C plus 2, we have used this one. In loops, in C language, we have used in loops C plus plus I plus 2. Like I plus plus mean 1 increment and I plus 2 is equal to 2 increment. If you want to increment the value 2 times, then we will put a 2 between these 2 values and enter, and you can see is first value is 0 and incrementing the value to 2 times. If I put 3, then it will print 0, 3, and 6. Yeah, these 3 values will be printed. There is another thing which is important. I want to get the vector elements. I want to element of date. I have used this array. And in the same array, for example, I want to use from 1 to 3 elements. Like there are 8 elements. So it will print the first 1, 2, 3 elements. So index is 0. So it is printing from 0 to 3. Mean elements from the same array, we are printing some specific elements using small brackets. Same is the procedure. For example, I am using it 2 and 4. 0 to 4. It's first value 0, 2, and 4. Incrementing 2 times. Mean it will start from 0 up to 4 and incrementing every time 2 times. In Matlab, we are using matrices in the same procedure. Like, for example, I have used this is my first row, 1, 2, 3. After that, I am using semicolon. So the second row will start from this value 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. So it's printed 3 cross 3 matrix. 1, 2, 3 is my first row, and after that I put a semicolon. Mean this value will be the first element of second row, and after semicolon this is the first element of third row. So that is the procedure of printing matrices. I can even use this technique, like for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm using bracket open and bracket close, and same output will be get. Mean I can use either this technique or this technique. My output will be same. So maybe sometime, yeah.
Second technique, like manually.
Yeah, it's like manually. You have to like after 3 you have to enter key. You have to put the enter key, and then it will be like in same matrix form. So we are using these techniques in Matlab codes. If you know these techniques and there is a matrix in a code, then you will understand what does it mean actually. What does this line mean? Using practice, you can learn these things. Array indexing is very important. For example, this is my array, and I want to find this index in its value. It's an index value. What will be its index value? For example, I don't know what is the second row and third column value. It is the second row, third column value. For example, I don't know what is the index value of A matrix having the second row and third column. Then I have to put this using A small brackets 2 comma 3 and put enter. I will find the answer. So indexing is very important in Matlab. So this is important, array indexing.
And obligatory to use this the not the square one.
No. For indexing you will not use the square bracket. It's indexing. It's the element value. We are not printing the array or matrix. We are finding only a single element using this command.
I'm asking. For example, back to this one. A equal this the
this one. This one.
This the sorry, not this one.
Yeah,
first one. Yeah, go to first one.
Okay, there's that one. Okay.
What difference when I want to use A equal this the symbol? This is the same. This one.
This symbol is actually using for matrix, or for row vector or column vector. We are using this symbol. We are using this symbol for row or matrix. For example, we are printing a row or matrix, or a row or column vector or a matrix. Then we will use these square brackets. These small brackets will be used only for specifying index values. That's the end of today's lecture. Hopefully this session will build a strong foundation for working confidently in the Matlab environment, ensuring that you will not only understand the syntax, but will also learn the right approach to debug your code. Stay tuned for the next part, where we will dive deeper into practical applications and more advanced features of Matlab. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more Matlab tutorials.